I could count you all the best restaurants down there will not be back. They're done.
Is it down like 50%?
Oh no, it's down like 90%.
I'm still here. My heart and soul's in the city. My wife's heart and soul's in the city. Everything that the city's doing is pushing us out of the city. What are they going to do to us if we all just open up?
What do you want to tell the politicians?
Until the city cleans up everything, from homelessness to all the needles on the street, we're not going to recover. When all the gates are up, we're having a party.
Good afternoon, guys. Here in San Francisco. And in today's video, we're gonna go to Little Italy to meet up with Richie Azzolino. He's a restaurant owner. His restaurant's Sotto Mare. The reason being is small businesses, and especially restaurants, have been absolutely hammered in the city. Outdoor dining shut down December 7th. We're now in January 23rd. January 23rd, and it's been brutal. So we're gonna meet up with Richie. We're gonna pick his brain on the industry, what's going on in the neighborhood, and just get the inside scoop of how these restaurants are surviving. Here we are, Little Italy, colorful place, lively place. Actually quite lively now for everything being shut down outside. But guys are hanging out here. You can see all the restaurant setups that are empty. And Richie is in here, I believe. Yes, Sotto Mare. I went here once, it was good food. So you can see they had everything set up outside until December 7th, and they shut all that down. So let's get a pulse on what exactly is going on.
Yes, ma'am. What are you doing? This is the inside of our abode, Sotto Mare Osteria and Seafood Restaurant, which was created actually out of the similar to the hometown where my wife comes from in Italy, which is Porto San Giorgio, on the Adriatic shores. The town's literally on the seashore. If you come in here and you're waiting, you'll probably get a glass of wine from me or my wife, because that's what we do. And it's our goal to serve the best, freshest of seafood you could possibly get at any given time. If it's not fresh, I will not serve it. The recipe was my grandmother's recipe of the cioppino that I will not give out. And we have a lot of fun here, and it's what it's all about, is to eat well and have fun. Our most famous customer is Tony Bennett. Every time he's in town, he comes to eat here. He eats our crab diavolo because he's a calabrese like me. This is all good in the hood for all of us. I grew up here, and I'll tell you this outside, and my clam chowder. And in order to gain the flavors that I like, I have to put in my walk-in for 3 days while it sits and marinates itself. And then we use it. But other than that, everything is cooked to order.
You know, that is wonderful to hear that you have such authenticity with your food. It's not something that is sitting up in the freezer and you just throw it. I love authenticity. And that's why I came over here.
First time I moved out of this neighborhood is when I went to college. But I came home every Sunday to make my mother do my laundry.
True Italian.
Take care and good luck on that.
All right, thank you.
And, you know, when I came back, we didn't have any hippies in North Beach. We didn't have any of that. That was out in Haight-Ashbury. But we had the bohemians when I was growing up, before there was any of that, in the 50s into the 60s, up on Grant Avenue. And in North Beach, we never had to leave North Beach. If it wasn't 100%, it was 98% all Italian. And I can walk with you and show you where they all live. Joe DiMaggio grew up down at the end of the alley where I grew up.
You're the wine distributor, right?
I am, yes.
And your name?
Felicia.
Felicia, okay.
But this is typical San Francisco. Tax.
Yeah, just crush it.
Look at all the CEOs, all the big companies are all going to Austin, Texas, because they didn't realize that these guys could just look at it and say, you know what? We don't need to be here. We're leaving.
Exactly, yeah.
And they left.
So you're seeing this with the wine industry, right? You're working with different restaurants, obviously.
Yeah, I cover San Francisco, just bars and restaurants.
Okay.
I do very little retail, so it's definitely I mean,
Is it down like 50%?
oh
or?
no, it's down like 90%.
Peter, just look at this block here. Gino and Carlos, it's a bustling bar, hasn't been open since before Christmas.
Okay.
Columbus Cafe, the same thing, not before Christmas. We got bars up on Grand Avenue. How many? There's 1, 2, 3 that I could count. 4, 5, 6. They haven't been open, let alone what's going on in all the other areas of the city. The restaurants are just able to do to go. We're down 80 to 85% at least. We're not making any money here in these restaurants today. We're keeping some of our employees going and hope to make ends meet. If it wasn't for the PPP loan, the original one, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you. Something's got to break loose.
So what are they telling you guys now? They're saying it's indefinite, right? This lockdown, which means who knows?
Yeah,
We
it's
hear
just
everything something
silence.
different all the time, but I tell you what, till it happens, I can't tell you when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All I can say is this: I don't know why we can't serve people outside or inside. When I go to the grocery stores, I go to Nordstrom's, I go to every other place that's open, and it's jammed in there. I went to the farmer's market on Alameda today, and you couldn't move there. This whole neighborhood was self-contained, much like the rest of the city at that time. You know, the different districts were all self-contained.
Now it's not?
No, all that's gone. We got one delicatessen left. There's no shoemakers here. There's no clothing shops to speak of. There's a couple, but they're out of tire, but nothing for families, I would say. There's no drugstores. We had 3 or 4 or 5 of those. Doctors' offices, dentist offices, those are all gone. A lot of all the little neighborhood stores, you know, are gone. Amazon, the internet is taken over. You know, this was a big bank, now it's an art shop. You know, there was little.
So that's
had our.
open, but you can't be open outside.
That's right.
How is that?
You tell me.
What's the city telling you right now with restaurants? You have your restaurant, you're doing takeout only, obviously.
They're allowing us to do takeout, and we'll stay here because this is a good corner,
Okay.
and we'll walk down the next one. But the city is not telling us much. You know, the city's not even telling us where we can get our shots for our vaccine. They can't get it together. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, they have no data that shows that we should be closed. They can't come up with any good reason. And they got to get off the political pedestals and get us back in operation.
Right.
They're all looking for ways to tax us now because the city's broke. 600 million.
Tax you more?
Tax us more.
How, if you've been your businesses have been decimated? How would they tax you more?
Look at they haven't collected taxes from us for our gross. They charge us for our gross payroll tax, our gross receipt tax. Now we have a sugar tax that they're holding licenses up for. We have our business registration, our license registration. That we have our health, that we have to make sure every employee is got health insurance. Otherwise, the city will fine you. We have the highest minimum wage than anywhere else in the United States in this city, and they won't let us operate. And they want to take more. How much more can we charge for food? How much more can we charge for a drink before people just don't come? And until the city cleans up everything, from homelessness to all the needles on the street, we're not going to recover. People think we're going to recover in 6 months. They're dreamers. 5 years away before we could be what we were before the pandemic hit. In the way I view it, because nothing's even on the calendar.
Right.
So what are we going to do here? We got to survive, and they won't let us survive. Hopefully, when they let us open up inside, outside, maybe just outside, that everybody's going to be so tired of being at home, they're going to come and flood us.
I bet, yeah.
And that's what we're looking forward to. You know, I like to be an optimist, but, you know, I've seen too much over my lifetime, never seen anything like this, and I don't see any plan that's real that has taken hold.
So who do you talk to as a restaurant owner, as a business owner? Who do you talk to and say, hey, what's going on here? When are we going to be able to do X, Y, and Z? Or is there anyone you can talk to? Or
There's
no?
nobody that gives us a concrete answer.
Okay.
You could talk to the city politicians, but they don't have an answer. Well, we're getting there. We're working on it. We're thinking about it. Over here, Forensic by Night hasn't been able to open up. They got no seats. You know, we're struggling.
I would say this
If we don't get a second PPP and doesn't get funded, New York is losing 70% of their restaurants and bars because of this. San Francisco is not going to be far behind. I could point out down at Fisherman's Wharf, I could count you all the best restaurants down there will not be back. They're done. And we're not far behind.
So all your buddies are saying the same thing here? All the restaurants?
All the ones I talked to are saying the same stuff, the same moan, what's going on. We're to the, we're all even talking about what the heck? What are they going to do to us if we all just open up?
Right.
They could take our licenses away. ABC could take our license away. They could do a lot of things, but they sure look foolish by doing it to everyone in the city and cut down the commerce, cut down the economy. Listen, they depend on our dime. They think they keep saying they care about small businesses, but every time I turn around, we get nailed for something else.
Who pays their pensions?
We pay their pension because it's our tax money that goes into the coffers of the city and county of San Francisco.
Exactly. All of us.
We pay their wages. The funny thing is, the city and county of San Francisco gave everybody a 3% raise in July in the middle of the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, few of the politicians said, "Oh, we're going to give ours back." Except next July, they're going to get it all back.
Has the news media really been out here much or not so much?
Twice in 9 months. When we open outside, what do you think? Oh, it's great. We open inside, they were back. Okay.
Can we walk down here? Is that all right, Richie?
We'll walk around the block.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Felicia's ought to be ready, too. Then we have to have a glass of wine, right?
Okay.
I'm getting parched.
Well, Richie, unleash. This is your moment. Sorry to walk in. There we go.
This poor restaurant here has been here since like 78, 79, North Beach Restaurant. Been closed since March 15th. What's going to happen here, nobody knows.
So this
may never be back.
Would you consider this to be the North Beach sort of the soul of the city, or one of the places that has a really good soul? It always had these like craft businesses, small restaurants, local
Well,
owners.
I always think that North Beach was the heart of the city.
Okay. Yeah.
North Beach, Fisherman's Wharf. Even when the rest of the city's quiet, we're not.
Right.
In the middle of the pandemic, when they let us sit inside, outside, we were busier than any other part of the city.
How are your employees doing?
They're struggling. All employees are struggling. We're doing our best we can to keep them going. We're doing the best we can to rotate them so everybody makes a few bucks.
So this is people can stand and eat in these little pavilions, huh?
Well, these little parklets that are here belong to the city. Okay, and if you notice, the ones that don't belong to the city are roped off. So they got mad at all us. If you look over there, you see the yellow tape. That people are hanging around and eating in there.
Okay, so this is city owned, so it's open. That's private, and it's roped off.
Right.
Is that how that works?
So the private ones can't be used, but the city's not doing anything to stop this.
Oh, how does that feel?
It feels rotten when they come around and make us rope up. It's not fair in my book.
What do you want to tell the politicians?
Get off your seats, get us open. It's a pandemic, it's a disease, it's going to go away. Get the vaccines out, get us open. You had a spike and all the restaurants were closed. It was not the restaurants.
Right. Has there been any proof that the outdoor dining added to this or no?
I have not seen any data that shows that.
Okay.
And not having outdoor dining available just drives people to congregate in their homes where they're in closed conditions, and that's where it's being spread.
So what was this alley like back in the day, Richie? Like, what was going on in these alleyways?
There were families here. Kids that were 10, 12 years old or younger were playing baseball, catch down in here, throwing the football around on these streets.
Like Italy, like someone coming out of this door, someone coming out of this door, everything open?
Everything was open, nothing locked. Everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
There was one big family. All you heard here, you heard all the dialects of different Italians speaking here. All the ladies coming with their shopping bags, they shopped every day. You could smell food coming out of the windows. You could smell the wine making.
Wow.
I can remember smelling the chocolate from Ghirardelli Square all the way up here.
So just my little time in your restaurant, seeing the people come in, you seem to know everyone, people, you have a good time with it, you're social, but how How do you
Yeah.
keep your spirits high during, I mean, that's one way, obviously, but how do you keep them high during this time?
During these times, it's pretty
Yeah.
tough.
Okay.
Well, you got to look forward. You got to buckle up. You got to say we're going to beat this. We're going to be better than anybody else, and we got to be survivors.
Right.
The only way we won't survive if the politicians and the governments don't allow us to have commerce, make a dollar, they'll put us out of business.
Gotcha.
And there's a lot of people being put out of business as we speak.
In this park light, how much money did you put into this?
Yeah, we got $10,000 over here.
Wow. And so there was a table in each one. Table there.
Yeah, then after we built them, then they came out with specs that don't meet this, don't meet that, and
Spec, what, like too far out in the road or what?
they come up with their own ideas.
There were no guidelines, clear guidelines that they gave people, so people would erect these parklets, and then after they were all put together, then someone would come out and tell them
Yep.
that they had to change certain aspects of it. But they were never given a clear protocol of what was acceptable and what was not.
So we're pretty lucky. We did a good job.
It looks nice.
We're pretty much.
I like your sign too.
Oh yeah, the city does it, but we do.
What do they like? Do they like your food?
loves
Yeah. yeah. The same ones will come in here and eat too.
Just get away, remove the business from the
True.
sign and just create the food, right?
It's the whole. We're 49 square miles, 800,000 people. Our budget is bigger than most states.
Wow.
What are they doing with it?
Right.
Over-governed, too many people, get rid of middle management and start doing what they're supposed to do. I'm still here. My heart and soul's in the city. My wife's heart and soul's in the city. But you know what? Everything that the city's doing is pushing us out of the city. You know, it's not that we want to go, they want us to go.
That's how you feel?
That's how I feel. They want to control everything I do at the restaurant. They want to control my own house, my own property. They want to tell us about everything that we can and can't do. You know what? They wonder why people are moving out of the city. I think a lot of stuff's going to backfire on them if they don't watch out, and it's going to come to fruition. I think it's coming that way now because you lost the biggest conventions we had here in the city because people didn't want to deal with the tenderloin and what's going on down there, the needles in the streets and the homelessness. They just didn't want to be there. So, and until they clean all that up, how are you going to get that back?
And the thing that, I'm confident you're going to make it through this, Richie, but the thing that kills me about North Beach and all these little eclectic restaurants is you can't create that soul. It's not like you can put someone in there that's 23 and create that same environment.
Exactly.
Like it's
an organic neighborhood.
No, it's good. Look, it's just like Gino and Carlos. What's cool about that little bar there, is when I was growing up here, when I was 16, 18, 21 years old, I was going in there. And the three owners, there were two brothers and a close friend. Now, they're all retired, and their three sons, each one of their sons, there's three sons in there that carry on the business. And it's carried on for years, and it's matriculated from different levels of age. And, my age group goes in there once every month, and where we used to be there every night. And the younger groups go in there. But it is a bar of San Francisco that people all know all over the place. We haven't created it. North Beach over the years, the people of North Beach, the Italian families, the Asian families that came in after them, things change. And the people that are back here in the neighborhood now, the people that stayed and didn't go anywhere, have continued as much a tradition as they could within the bounds that are allowed and able to do.
Do you feel like the neighborhood's losing its soul a little bit with everything online?
I think what's going on online, not our neighborhood, the city, the state, the world.
Yeah.
All these small businesses, people, mom and pop stuff they took it away from them.
Yeah.
Again, that's it's another revolution. We had the Industrial Revolution around the turn of the century in the 1900s. This is the tech revolution. We need to learn to live with it. Sometimes change is hard, but change is good. We're in a changing world.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not blind to that. I mean, it's the way of the world. Things move on.
But you'd think food is one of those things that stays because everyone loves good food, and technology can't fix that yet, let's say. Like a
Technology
good ragu.
can't replace my chefs.
There you go.
Technology can't replace my management, can't replace my waiters and waitresses and bussers. Although they try to and they want to, they can't. They can't. Technology can't replace personality.
Will you ever retire? I mean, if the city doesn't put you out, will you ever retire, Richie?
Well, I don't think I could ever fully retire. I have too much fun here with my customers, with people I meet every day, conversations that we get to have.
Yeah.
People I get to have a glass of wine with. It becomes, you know, you not only just a restaurant, your customers become family, and family becomes drinking partners, whatever you want to call it, but it's all, as long as we are having fun, people are smiling, and we'll be here. Ma say, tanta salute, sempre avanti. Always forward.
Richie, thank you. For those of you that don't know, Soto Mare Seafood Restaurant, the best in Little Italy. You're going to make it through, Richie, and this is going to be packed. Hopefully soon. Until then, it's takeout. I know that's not your favorite, right? But it's
not my favorite.
It keeps the lights on.
But I tell you what, when all the gates are up, we're having a party. That's for sure.
All right, thanks, Richie.
All right, Pete.
Fist
Come on,
bump.
let's go have a glass of wine.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, that's the story with Richie. Old school Italian. These guys are special. So it was my honor to document. And now we're doing a little wine here, even though I don't drink. I'll figure that one out. All right, guys. Until the next video from San Francisco.
Jessica. Jessica's right here.
Thank you, Laura.
Can we get the tag for them?
Oh, I grabbed mine already.
Okay.